Hello, and welcome to Tomorrow, where our goal is to educate, engage, and grow our local crypto community in current trends, future growth, and hidden gems. Our mission is to 10x our portfolio in 1 year. But before we begin, quick disclaimer: we are not financial advisors, and all information should be considered for educational and entertainment purposes. I'm your host, Anthony Amen, and welcome back to another episode, guys, of Tomorrow's Crypto. I'm going to address the big elephant in the room, and we did miss an episode last week. So if you're like, how did we jump over from 2 weeks? Don't worry, we missed it. Just hop right into this one. The market's been going all over the place, and we'll catch you back up on what's going on, how we're doing, and take it to what's to come, because that's always what everyone's interested about. What is the future going to hold for me, for my investments? What should I be looking for? What should I be doing? And where should I be going? Without further ado, though, let's welcome back to this wonderful show, James. James, it is an absolute pleasure to have you on again. We had a wonderful episode about 3 weeks ago talking about Shiba, and I'm excited to talk about a brand new coin, something that we are currently invested in. And James, what is that coin?
Remark. It's coming. It's here, and it's evolving just as the NFTs are. So we'll get to that in a second.
I'm going to just say I know very little, if basically nothing, about Remark, or RMRK, as I always say it. But what is it? What is the purpose of this coin, and how is it used?
Well, Remark is used as NFT. So the big thing now is NFTs and metaverse. So it's always been the big thing for the last 6 months or so, as we took the decline because of the FUD going in, because of the Fed rate hikes. Sorry, too early. I'm blaming you for that one. And so the NFTs right now are the big thing, but people still think that they're just clip art, when in truth, there's a little bit more to it than that. That's kind of just the surface right now. So eventually, you're going to be able to have these smart contracts through this NFTs, or non-fungible tokens, which pretty much mean that they're original. Due to the blockchain, we're able to see recorded transactions over time. And you can look on the blockchain and see that when you have one of these non-fungible tokens, you see the original asset as opposed to just a digital copy like normally on the internet. Because you could see the same picture over and over and over again. But now that you're actually seeing the ability to record these transactions, you see when the first transaction was recorded. So you see that first clip art ever made, and people want the original, just like an original Mona Lisa. But what Remark is doing is that they're equipping their NFTs. They're getting them to the point where they're starting to now have function and utility, which is huge, considering that Ethereum is based upon a smart chain platform. And Ethereum, being the next biggest coin next to Bitcoin, is based upon smart contracts. And so now you have NFTs that are equipping that within themselves, so they can own their own NFTs. They can have their own emojis. They can have their own rules, and they can have their own conditions. So it's coming to the point where now you can allow an NFT. Let's say that you're playing a game, right? You're playing like a World of Warcraft kind of deal. When it comes to having your own RPG, your own character, right? And you're equipping that character with different emojis, different things that give it expressions, that give it a style, that give it items. You're allowing that to now take on its own form. And eventually it's going to get to a point where you have your own smart contracts under NFTs. So, I'm not saying Remark is doing this just yet, but it looks like to be in the potential where they're owning these conditions and owning these abilities, where you could set up, let's say you have an agreement with another company, right? Or you have real estate, or you have something that you own, right? Instead of having to go through such a strenuous process, the idea is that these are simple NFT smart contracts. They allow things to be brought over through chain instead of having to go through all the tediousness. And eventually, if you want to do this, I follow Alex Becker, great guy, very interesting, very knowledgeable. Had information regarding, and this was his idea, so I can't take credit for it. Real estate and how real estate one day could be brought onto contracts and on NFTs, and then you trade that NFT to somebody else without having to go through lawyers, without having to go through banks and strenuous, tedious.
Are we talking about like real life real estate properties? Or are we talking about metaverse real estate properties?
Well, right now it would be metaverse. It would start to be that first. So, you have the ability to virtually go in and to virtually see things, and then you just be able to purchase property virtually, or you'd be able to go through the system and have it a little bit more tedious. So, the idea is that everything in technology makes things quicker and faster. And so, this is going to help to do that even more so.
Which is a really cool concept. And I liked your analogy with the Mona Lisa or any kind of picture art that we imagine art being in nowadays, where you can go to a computer and print up something, and it's very difficult to tell to the eye what's the original and what's not. They have to use special machineries and stuff like that to figure out what is this original piece, because the other one's just basically garbage from there on out. Whereas these NFTs are able to, you can easily see the transaction history through something. So you know right away whether something's an original or not, or it's a copycat off of it.
Yes, yes. And you want to look at like its utility now, right? So NFTs were just clip art. Their Bored Ape was a huge one, a lot of money. They're also a symbol of social status. So, you have an NFT, and because you bought it, now you can go to a club or you can go join a society. But now you're actually getting to like deeper levels of what NFTs can really do. And we're starting to see that now. So now that the market's picking back up a little bit again, there's a little bit more hype, but all this is bubbling underneath the surface. People have been doing this now for just about a year, maybe even over a couple of years, because now this NFT has been surfacing and getting ready to just explode, and it's just waiting for the right opportunity so we can actually see what they're really made of.
What else is Remark in? Is it in? Are they doing anything else besides these NFTs, which is a really cool concept because you could take two and kind of add them together to make another unique one on
Yeah.
its own. But are they in anything else?
Well, right now the founder actually came from the Polkadot network, following Kusama parachains. So parachains are pretty much starting your own blockchain, and developers are allowing that ability. So what they're doing right now is they really are concentrating on the NFTs, but I see that they're creating that NFT across multi-chains. So it's allowing you to be able to seamlessly and very cheaply, if not free, transfer your NFTs and the smart contracts that go with them over those platforms and over those blockchains. And that will, I mean, that's just, I mean, anything today with fees and the transactions, how long things take, that's going to definitely catch on very quickly.
Yeah, I think being able to do it across multiple networks is really going to help push up Remark and make it something a little more unique, I guess is the best way to put it. I want to go ahead and pull up. Boop. This is what everyone kind of wants to see. What is the hard data? What is the Remark coin doing? How is it engaging to the market? So let's start by just talking about how this is what everyone's kind of looking at is a 5-year chart of what RMRK is. James, you want to talk a little bit what's going on with this graph here?
Yeah, so I mean, it's not a tremendous chart, obviously, but you can see that with the recent all-time high of Bitcoin, uh, Remark really took play to that and definitely went up, definitely increased. I believe now it's around $20 or so, and so based upon what it was doing before, it was reaching closer to 70 or 80 before that, and it's going to take Intel. It's still a low market cap right now. I mean, if we look at it, it's about 194 million. And so compared to what this could be, which could be in the billions, 2, 5, some speculate more than that. When the usability and the utility of this coin really gets shown, it's going to launch, at least in my opinion, because this is what we're talking about. This is the big push. This is that movement. And in order for metaverse to work, what people don't realize is that, you know, things look nice. It's be cool to go VR, AR, and all those things, but you need the utility and you need the ability for things to function behind it. And NFTs are going to be everything in this metaverse. It's going to be everything that you see. I mean, there can be digital things put in place in this metaverse, but you are going to have usability. You're going to want to own a building that has a billboard, and that billboard is going to need an ability to be advertised and then to share that advertisement so people can profit off of it, or just people in general who are very expressive. They want to be able to use everything. And these NFTs, especially the Remark, is going to allow you to use all those things that you see in the metaverse. They're considered art Legos by the company itself. And it's very true, because you're able to mix, match, and play and then have them evolve over time. So you can have your characters, you can have your billboards that own NFTs on top of their billboards, an advertisement within an advertisement. It's really endless. So, you know, the price right now was just telling you that as Bitcoin was going up, this was following in suit. So it's showing that there is momentum there. And obviously that dip is because we have been in a market that has been bearish, been technically bearish if you look at the moving averages. So you see that there's some life recently, and that's because Bitcoin had a little bit of life recently. So we're just kind of moving in suit right now with Bitcoin, as most things are. Not everything, but most things are. And I think this will follow in suit when Bitcoin starts to reach its new all-time highs again.
Should we buy now? What do you think?
It is a nice buy time. See if you can so I like to trade by the stochastic RSI. So if you look at that, you'll see that the stochastic RSI, let's see if we can pull it up. Are we able? I'm putting you on the spot here, but I think we can.
You are,
pull
man.
It up. Hey man, it's an early morning. I gotta nip you back, you know?
I think you got me on this one. This is just talk a little bit what the stochastic RSI is while I look at how to actually pull it up.
Okay, so stochastic RSI is the relative strength index, and it allows you to see when something's overbought or oversold. So based upon being overbought or oversold, you can kind of say to yourself, okay, is it a good time to buy in right now, or should I wait, right? And the stochastic RSI, the relative strength index, is seen as having that bought or oversold over a given time period. So you can do a minute, depending on what site you use or how well you use it. And you could go to months or years. So the best one I've found is the weekly. The weekly has been shown to be, good job, you got it. I wouldn't want to say anything. I want you to do it on your own. Stochastic. There you go. Good job. Good job.
Nailed it.
I let you suffer just a little bit. Yeah, so the stochastic RSI for the weekly will give you an indicator of how well you can actually, how well you can see whether or not to buy in or buy out. Did you get it? Where'd it go?
Yeah, it said it popped up.
Click on it.
Oh, there it is. I see it. Hold on.
See it? Where is it?
It's under here.
Okay, why is it so small?
Oh,
Oh, they don't even have it. Oh.
There's nothing.
All right, so the time that this, all right, so why this happens is because the time that it's been on this right now is not long enough for them to get that strength index for this. So you could use this with a lot of coins. You can use it with Bitcoin, Ethereum, all the major coins, and most of the smaller altcoins. But apparently this one is not allowing you to do that too much. So, yep, you could try changing some of those parameters.
There you go.
Oh, there you go. You got something. Okay, good. So, okay, good. You changed the input. All right. So just based upon this, you know, and each one, you know, not financial advice. This is all entertainment purposes, but you know, there's a lot in crypto, especially with the trading. And so a lot of people will tell you different things. And one of the most long-term consented upon things to trade by is the stochastic RSI. swing traders, day traders, it depends what you want to do. But weekly is shown to be very well, and you got to be observant of the market, know what's going on. And so right now we are, I believe, towards the bottom, if not coming out of the bottom from where Bitcoin is. Bitcoin can always go back down again. This could be just like a fake pump up and pump down. As we're seeing right now, we have to cross over that 45, 46, and then new target prices within the 50s after that. And then we can discuss whether or not we're breaking support, breaking resistance, and then going into support. But I think it would be a good time to buy now. I personally don't have any of this right now, but I'm, especially after reviewing this project, I'm definitely going to to open up some capital for it.
Yeah, if they're getting into NFTs, man, and they're kind of pushing that equipment saga, just some coming from someone who plays video games and stuff like that, definitely goes a long way. I just quickly pulled up Bitcoin. I don't really want to dive into it too much, but long story short, guys, you kind of see what's going on. It's took this nice little dip. It rallied back up to 43, and then we kind of dipped down again right here all the way down to almost 42. Something I noticed with the charts, if you go on to just a little of a nicer look, this is exactly what happened a year ago. It did a big dip down to 28, pumped up to 36, dropped to 34, and then it skyrocketed to 43. Played out a little bit, dropped, and jumped to 69. So I think we're kind of in that same ballpark right here, especially just a little bit of current trends, not to keep anyone because we're going to start wrapping this up. But right now, trust in fiat currency is at a all-time low. People don't trust the government. They don't trust people are putting their money. They want something that is based off a peer-to-peer decentralized platform, and that is cryptocurrency. I believe that sustainability and that push away from fiat currency is going to push so much money into cryptocurrency. It's inevitably has to go up from this point on. But that's my opinion.
Well, I think a lot of people would agree with you on that. I mean, the U.S. dollar has just gone down in value. No recovery, unlimited supply because all of it can be printed, and the whole idea is now you have scarcity. You have a coin that is limited in value, limited in quantity, and which would inevitably push up the value if people deem it valuable. And so far they are. They are looking at this as, a potential hedge against inflation and future currency for sure.
I really couldn't agree more. And I think you're just going to see a big tick towards that way. But last thing, James, I usually the one to read off where we're at, how we're doing, but I'm going to have you do it because we love putting each other on the spot today. That seems to be our day. Well, I'll pull it up for you right here. This is our current trade. Remember, we started at 500, but we right away took a $25 dip before we went out and divested. So it looks like we are $100 down. We kind of knew that, but we are up from 2 weeks ago, about $30, which is a nice little sign that recovery. We kind of knew we were getting into it the head of the market. So, but we have so much confidence this is going to work. That's what we're coming at from you now. So, James, read us through, buddy. Where are we?
All right, we're at Remark for $74.52. We're at Phantom for $71.57. Luna $51.39. XRP for $50.95. We're at Ultra for $46.63. We're at Vulcan Forge for $41.14. BMON $39.11. And so for us, just quick recap of why we chose these things. These are all very progressive coins that are big into the metaverse, big into gaming, and they have a bright future. We just need to see some movement with Bitcoin, and we'll start to see movement with these. At least we believe so. This is what we're doing. We don't advise you do this. This is just for you to see how it can be done. And this is our goal. We're here to make 500 into 5,000. So we're gonna just keep playing the market, see what's going on, and being smart consumers.
I absolutely agree. Until next week, guys, we hope you enjoyed this episode of Tomorrow's Crypto. Hope to catch you on the flip side.